Hello, Linda here from Barlates Body Blitz little mini in her box bed. So today we're doing another active chat and I'm going to be using my resistance loop above the knees. If you want to join me, you can. You do not have to use the loop. It's going to be a pretty easy to follow workout today, just adding some resistance. So I'm going to twist my loop into a shape of an 8 and try not to fall over as I put it on. So by twisting it like this, it just means it doesn't move up or down as much. So I find it's much nicer to work with if you are using the latex loop. Otherwise, use a fabric booty band. Now, we're going to be talking a bit more about the stray cat issue. If you do not know what I'm talking about, please go to the YouTube channel, check a few videos ago, and I'll link it below as well, and you will see all about my crazy cat story, okay? Watch that one first, because this update is not going to make sense unless you know the backstory. We are going to be doing 40 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, just going through some flowing exercises, hitting a lot of lower body, a little bit of cardio factor, and I will update you with all the details. So make sure you stay right up until the end because there is a bit of a surprise at the very end, okay? So make sure you listen. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. Like this so that YouTube can give you more videos like it, and it also tells me that you like this sort of content and I will make more. So get your stuff and let's go. Okay, very first exercise, we're just going to bring our knee across and tap our opposite hand to knee. So, since the last video, which was all about the stray cat situation at the end of my street and how I've been going through quite the drama over the last probably 6 or so months with trying to rehome some of these cats, we have had some progress. So first of all, I want to say to all of you who donated, thank you so much for all of your donations. They're so appreciated. You have no idea. Dumpling did go to the vet. We're going to go down together, down together. So we were very sure, like 90% sure, that she was pregnant. She was the same size as a few of her other siblings in the colony, but she had this really round belly. Like either someone was feeding her a lot of food or she was definitely pregnant. And because a few of the other cats from the colony had just had kittens, and they can have kittens at a very young age, we figured it was a no-brainer. So that is the reason why we took Dumpling in first before any of the other cats. And I couldn't bear the thought of her having her babies out in the street in some bushes or whatever. So I thought, okay, even though I didn't really want to become the crazy cat lady yet, let's go wide, up on the toes, and then stand. Wide, up on the toes, and then stand. So I wasn't really quite ready to start amassing cats yet. It was definitely in my plan for my senior years, but not quite yet. So I thought, let me just try and foster her for now, and we'll see how we go. So I took her in. It took her a long time to get used to being indoors. You can imagine growing up outdoors, never setting foot inside a house perhaps. I don't know, maybe she went in through someone's pet door as well. Let's go into a side lunge, just on one side and up. So it took her a while, and of course she's still adjusting to it all, but she's warming up. She's really cute. She's learning to kind of not freak out every time someone comes in the room. She's starting to relax. She's been sleeping, like if I spend time in there with her just quietly reading or whatever, she'll fully relax and go to sleep. So she's not scared of me for her life anymore, which is a nice feeling because it's actually very difficult to have someone scared of you. I didn't really even think about this, but, well, it's not a someone, something. I didn't really think about it before. We're just going to the other side. But that feeling that someone's scared of you is not a nice feeling. It's kind of like you just want them to realize how much you care about them and they're scared of you. And there's no way that you can bridge that gap. It's only time, right? So it's kind of feels very unrewarding to start off with. But then every little tiny bit of progress that is made, you know, whether it's she'll sniff my finger or she'll just stay in one spot and not run across the room when I come in, or she'll eat the food straight away when I give it to her. All those tiny things, the tiny wins, are so rewarding. You never would have thought how rewarding it could be to win over this stray cat, right? So we're going to go 2 across and make sure you get low and wide. So yeah, she is definitely making progress. So today is the 2-week mark since fostering Dumpling. And you know me, it's very likely going to be adopt Dumpling, because how am I going to give her up? Once I get her to warm up, once she meets the other 2 and she fits into our family, it's going to be extremely difficult for me to say, okay, Dumpling, bye-bye now. So it's very likely that she's already adopted, but at the moment on paper, it's a foster. So she went to the vet day before yesterday. We're going to do a knee and then an extend to the back. Knee and extend. Do whatever you want with your arms. And 90% sure she was pregnant, right? So just thinking about having x-rays to find out how far along she is. Am I going to have to prepare for kittens, or will they be able to terminate, which is horrible, but at the end of the day, there's still all these other cats in the colony. We really don't need any more kittens. So bracing myself, waiting for the phone call. Turns out Dumpling is not pregnant. Dumpling is just a little round dumpling, and she just loves her food. Now, I think there's still more to the story, to be honest, because we're going to the other side, knee and raise, because it doesn't quite make sense. The amount that she was eating when we were feeding her in the colony was more than Minnie and Yoda put together. Okay, so that's what made me think she's definitely pregnant. Of course, cats will eat their fill when they don't know their next meal's going to come, right? So that is one of the reasons why. But there probably was also something like worms in her belly, maybe getting her belly to be bloated, or it could have been that she wasn't eating for so long that when she started eating again, and I was feeding them regularly every single night, she maybe was intolerant to the food. Let's just rotate and rotate, bend, extend, so maybe she was a bit intolerant to the food, or maybe just the fact that she hadn't eaten much and all of a sudden she's eating so much caused gas buildup. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe it's genetic. Minnie has this primordial snack pack, and she's not fat, she's not overweight, but she still has it and it flops around. So maybe that's what Dumpling's got as well, and it made her look bigger than she is, because she's only 2.7 kilos. So she's actually a tiny baby. Minnie, for reference, is 5.5. Yoda, I haven't weighed him lately, but I would say at least 7.5, maybe 8 kilos. He is huge. And she, Dumpling, eats less. Sorry, Dumpling eats more than Yoda. Tap. Knee, extend, tap. It's a balance challenge because of the band. Behind the knee, extend, tap down. Behind, extend, tap down. So yeah, it was a huge surprise that she wasn't pregnant. It was actually a happy surprise, because now I didn't have to have the guilt on my conscience of terminating kittens, or giving the go-ahead of terminating kittens, and I didn't have to worry about having kittens. So the universe was looking out for me, yay. But Dumpling managed to basically get in first because of her supposed pregnancy. We're going to the other side. Anyway, I'm glad. I'm glad that she's not pregnant. And apart from some teeth issues, she actually is really healthy. So that is a blessing. They did a full medical, they did a dental. They found that she had some sort of gum issues where her teeth were wobbling in her gums and they were getting infected, so she would have been in a bit of pain. So they ended up having to pull the tiny teensy little teeth in between her front fangs. Honestly, I wasn't too happy with that decision, and I couldn't really have my say in it because she's registered under the rescue that I have been working with. We're going to go behind and behind because they get a discount at the vet. Otherwise, it would have been even worse. The bill would have been even worse than it was. So I didn't really get to have a say. Personally, I would have preferred to wait and not pull any teeth, because now that she's getting a nutritious diet, it could have well been that her body would have healed itself. So I'm always one to try first, and seeing that we only had her for a couple of weeks, she still wasn't in top form yet. And she's getting so much good food now that I do believe the body has an amazing ability to heal itself. So we're going to go side and then in front. Now, side, and if you want to, you can tap the ground, or you can just come up, side, and a squat like this. So it's a curtsy squat in front. Again, balance challenge. If you want to hold on with one hand, I'm not going to tell anyone. So, teeth pulled, unfortunate, not happy about that, but she's fine. She's doing really good. She is on some pain meds, some anti-inflammatories for a few days. But as soon as she got home, she wolfed down her food because poor baby had to be fasted to get desexed. So she hadn't eaten since dinner the night before, so pretty much 24 hours. And she wouldn't eat at the vet, so we're going to the other side. So because she was scared she wouldn't eat at the vet. But I put her meds in with the food and she gobbled it all up like a good girl. So I'm very happy. Today I dug up some lawn for her, some grass, and put it in a little pot so that she can have a little bit of the outdoors indoors until we get to the point where she can come outdoors again, probably on a harness. I'm thinking of training her on a harness, but it's going to be a long road. I can already see it's not going to be easy. So that's what's happening with little Dumpling. She's slowly starting to relax. The cats have seen her on numerous occasions, usually through the window. So we're just gonna, if you want to move your band under the knees, just come into a wide plie, up on the toes and up, down, up on the toes and up. Push your knees to the back. So Minnie, she smelled some of her, so she's got this pet carrier that she was sleeping in, and I had a towel in there, and just out of interest we brought the carrier into the living room without Dumpling in it, just to see how the cats would react. And Yoda sniffed intently but didn't actually make any noises, and Minnie unfortunately growled and hissed at the container, just the smell of it. Up on the toe, and we're just going to go down and up, stay low. So she's not too happy about it, but both of them are more scared than anything. They're not confrontational anymore. Minnie used to be very confrontational. Now she sees her in the window, sees Dumpling sitting in the window. She'll hiss as she walks past, but she won't even go up to the window and launch herself at it. That's what Minnie used to do. If there was a cat outside, she would literally get so angry that she would hurl herself at the window. It was really terrifying because I was like, if she does it too hard, she could shatter this window. So I was always kind of really aware when there were cats outside to try and shoo them away as much as possible. But now, as she's gotten older, and maybe probably because of Yoda, let's face it, he was the biggest intrusion in her life. We've changed sides. And she managed to adapt in her old age. She was 11 when we got Yoda. So she managed to adapt to him. So I think she can. I think she can adapt to Dumpling. So she just hisses, walks past, ignores her. As long as Dumpling is not in her space, not taking up my time, not kind of encroaching on her food or whatever, or her routine, I don't think it's going to be an issue. So yesterday when Dumpling was at the vet, I let Yoda into the room so he could sniff around. And he sniffed, but more than anything, he seemed like a little bit hesitant and scared. So he sniffed, but then he ran out. And we put Minnie in there as well, and she hissed and ran out. We're going to do little lunges, staggered lunges, down, and then a glute raise. So I've put my band above my knees again. So yeah, so I don't actually think there's going to be any issues in terms of aggression, which is a good thing. But we'll see if they actually warm up to each other. I would love it if Yoda and Dumpling bonded. They're both the same color, they're white and gray. And I just feel like Dumpling's temperament is super sweet, super chill. Very scared at the moment, but I kind of feel like she's the sort of cat who is quiet enough and calm enough for Yoda to fall in love with. And if they could love each other and groom and do all the things that I wished other side that Minnie and Yoda did in the beginning, which never happened, because I think she just was too old. She was 11. You know, she'd been the queen of the house, queen of, I was going to say my street name, but I've decided not to. Queen of the house for 11 years, and now this fluffball comes along, so it's totally understandable. But with Yoda, he's only 4, so maybe him and Dumpling will hit it off. Apart from Dumpling, we have still been feeding the colony cats every single night, and we managed to trap or rescue sounds so much nicer than trap, 5 more since I put the last video up. Okay, so we're doing good. Let's go up on our toes, down and stand. So sit back as if you're about to sit in the chair, lift your heels, heels down and stand. So we got 2 kittens that were about 8 to 10 weeks old, a medium size black cat, another kitten, beautiful grey kitten that already has a new home, and that one was probably about 10 to maybe 12 weeks old. And what else did we get? Another kind of slightly older kitten that was maybe 4 months old, and that one was a tabby one, white and tabby. I think that's 5, right? So let's just do some arms, forward, side, up, side, and big wide steps so that you're still taking advantage of the band. So 5 more, and they're all such sweet temperaments. They're all not angry cats. Even when they were trapped, they were still not aggressive. So they're definitely going to be rehomed, not euthanized, which is the biggest worry. That's always on my mind when I catch these cats. If they're really aggressive, maybe they don't make it to a forever home. And there's a few more left. There's 4 that come every single night, and there's a few more that are kind of hiding. Maybe because we have been trapping so much. We're going to do a heel in front, but keep your legs wide and kind of cross the center line and do some nice figure 8s. So we're still hoping to trap them in the next few nights. Some of them are so clever, the black cats especially. There's 3 black cats left, and they will not, they'll eat the food that you put just in front of the trap, but they will not go in. So I really don't know how it's going to go. I'm hoping that we've got another type of trap, which is a drop trap. So we might have to try and do that. The last few nights I have been just regaining their trust by not trapping, just feeding them. So I'm trying to establish a really tight schedule. We're just going to do some lunges back alternating. back, and back. And so by establishing a feeding schedule again, without any trapping, because the trapping obviously disrupts things. It's, you know, when the cage door shuts, it's loud and it can probably scare them off. Not always, but it can. So some of them may have not returned because of all of that commotion and the fear that they can sense from the cat that has been trapped. Even though we remove it almost instantly, well, instantly as soon as we hear it, it's still around the other cats when they're trying to eat. So it's difficult because obviously they're going to get scared off by the noise or just the commotion of the cat. So yeah, trying to establish that feeding without trapping, once again for a few nights, I think it's going to be helpful. Let's go up, side, knee, behind. So angle and then out to the side and behind. Whoa, nearly falling over. Sorry, Minnie. Maybe I will borrow your chair here or not. Let's brave it. Let's wobble together. So that is basically the plan. There's about, I would say 6 more that I know of. Maybe there's more hiding, but we will definitely do our best. And the thing that I wanted to share with you right at the beginning that I said was a bit of a surprise is that Dorky, Dumpling's, I think it's Dumpling's brother, he definitely looks very similar to her, definitely the same eyes. Dorky could also be joining our family. Now, I'm still not 100% sure. Let's go up, out, and back. I'm still not 100% sure, but last night I gave him some flea and worm treatment. So if we decide to add him in with Dumpling in the same room and it goes well, then perhaps it's a good way to help calm her fears a bit, because he is much more confident than her. He's really affectionate. He'll run up to us. He'll let us pat him. He'll let me put flea treatment on him. We can pick him up a little bit, not for long, but a little bit. He just eats straight away, lets us scrumple his little head while he's eating. So he's the sweetest boy. We're nearly done, guys. He's the sweetest, sweetest boy. Let's just go side to side for the last little round. And I do love him so much. Out of all the cats, he's won me over the most out of all the colony cats. So he could be joining the family and we could have 4 cats. I don't know how long it's going to take to get them in the studio though. We will have to see, because with strays it is a long process. But wish me luck. So thank you so much for everyone that has already donated. Please, 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 even if you can spare a few dollars, please continue to donate. For anyone who hasn't even heard about it, once again, watch that video. It's a few videos down and I will link it below in the description. I will link the GoFundMe below in the description as well. Dumpling's vet bill came to nearly 1,000 Australian dollars, which is crazy. Vets just charge so much. And even though there's discount through the rescue that I'm using, it's still astronomical, and that's 1 cat. So Dorky probably won't be quite as much because he's a boy, but then all of the other cats that need to be desexed, all of their other issues that they might have, maybe they've got dental as well, it's going to be a lot. So anything that you can spare, I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And I will keep you updated, guys. So thank you for joining me. I hope you got a good workout as well. Me yabbering on the entire time. And if you don't like cats, maybe just mute it and listen to some music. Or you probably would have decided by now whether you wanted to listen or not. So thank you for listening. Thank you for exercising with me. I'll be back again very soon with another one. Bye for now.